Welcome, everyone, to an art exhibit and Meet the Artist presentation for the Virginia Beach Public Library. The featured artist for September is Ron Primm. Ron's artwork will be on display at the Art Gallery in the Central Library in Virginia Beach throughout the month of September. I'm Sandy Hopkins, librarian for the Virginia Beach Public Library. Robert Kennedy, volunteer art gallery coordinator, will be introducing the artist.
Thanks, Sandy, and welcome to all. We are pleased to highlight this month the beautiful oil paintings of artist Ron Primm. Ron graduated from the Phoenix School of Design, now the Pratt Institute, in New York City. He further studied in workshops with nationally and internationally recognized artists. Ron works in formal and informal portraiture, landscapes, and eclectic works he refers to as unreal. In addition to his formal portraiture, Ron continues doing life studies and workshops in his studio. In all cases, his goal is to create a meaningful work of art while capturing a positive representation of the subject. His landscapes are inspired by nature, selecting elements to build scenes of interest. He pays particular attention to skies, clouds, and atmospherics. Ron's unreal paintings are a real creative outlet. Though realistically rendered, these are purely visual statements. In art, he is always exploring, and this format has endless possibilities, which he's currently pursuing. Ron's artwork is in private collections across the United States and in London, England. He is represented by Crystal Mall Gallery in Baltimore, Maryland. Visitors are welcome to stop by his studio at 609 Stockley Gardens, Norfolk, Virginia, and call or message him at 757-651-5455. Ron's show runs through September 1st through 30th, 2022, and his reception, free and open to the public, is September 7th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Thanks very much, Ron, for joining us.
I'm Ron Primm. Welcome to my studio. My principal subjects are portraiture, landscapes, and a newer category I call unreal, where I apply realistic style to an unreal subject. This evening scene became something more when I added the eyes. Since then, I've created Vanilla Sky. Then came Golden Dawn. Amaterasu is the Japanese goddess of volcanoes and fire. And Reaching for Heaven with a semi-abstract landscape is a newer evolution. My landscapes are taken from on-site sketches, photos, observation, and imagination. Often more from imagination than anything else. This, titled Swept Clean, was inspired by a scene I photographed in Spain. I create the skies to complement the scene, or often the other way around. To me, this sky is the painting. This is a scene in Portugal, freely copied from my photo. These two are meant to hang together, as shown. They're 52 inches wide overall. The next two skies were actually shot in Newport News. In both, the landscapes were manufactured to complement the skies. I call this Shirley Creek. It's the view from my friend Shirley's home. I have another called Shirley Flats, painted at low tide. Portraits were my first love. This is Bob Barton. It's one of 3 I did for the principals of the Beach Ford dealership. Each is nearly life-size. Dr. Metter, a physician in Nashville, Tennessee. This was commissioned by his wife. My first portrait of Arthur Robinson, past Commodore of Norfolk Yacht, inside his yacht. But I wasn't happy with it. So I painted this, on his deck, and now he has both on display in his home. All we had was an old black and white headshot of Louise Eggleston, who died shortly after her bequest to what became Eggleston Services. I had my wife pose for the rest of the figure. Although I had Jillian pose in my studio, the wedding gown came from a snapshot her mom took at the fitting. The background came from a John Singer Sargent painting. Steal from the best. Shirley with Ellie in her favorite spot, her garden. Ellie would barely fit on Shirley's lap today. Reverend Sabatelli, a pastor in Baltimore upon his retirement. This joins 5 other portraits on display in the church rectory going back over 100 years. Also in Baltimore, a retirement gift for a Johns Hopkins doctor. As a longtime sailor myself, the subject came naturally to me. Occasionally, I get called for a group portrait, usually of a family. This is a more formal approach, and this, where parents wanted to capture the girls while young, at Virginia Beach. Tiffany wanted her portrait by her pool, which dictated a higher than usual angle of view for a portrait. I call this Still Life with Julie. The background was painted from life, with some of my props, mostly acquired from estate sales. I put Campion among the sequoias to represent his California locale. Charity in her natural setting, except when she's at her business, South Beach Grill. This painting, Best Dress Shirt, features Brock, one of our favorite models, wearing my dress shirt, seated on one of my estate sale chairs, which I think was originally intended to seat a mother and child side by side. Captain Christian on station, pushing acres of barges up or down the Ohio River. Jessica is a landscape architect in Charlottesville. The setting and costume were chosen to reflect her occupation. My wife, Emily. Backgrounds are very important in portraiture. The photos shown in the background are meaningful to the subject and to her family. When Shannon, who lives in London, took this portrait to the framer, he commented how I had caught her essence. I love to hear that. Ukwensi is a gallery owner and an artist. Here I captured him engulfed in his art. Study with lamp, done in my studio with my props, and a favorite model. Crystal is captured dockside on Tangier Island with her morning coffee. This is a rare instance where a snapshot translates into an effective portrait. I often have friends pose for my art group, and Michael is such an instance. The bold color, his expression, and rakish angle of his hat make a strong statement. I really like the direct application and free spirit of the brushwork in this casual portrait of Muriel. Almost a watercolor technique. The relationship between the model and the little geisha tells the story. I particularly like the reflection in the vanity mirror. Cynthia posed for our art group, but I never finished it and put it aside. 3 years later, I finally completed it for her retirement. Stripes. Rebel, my model, chose to make my life interesting with her costume. Stripes, like the American flag, are more difficult than they look. Caroline chose to wear her jean jacket adorned with her button collection, hence the painting's name, Buttons. This is from a workshop with Rob Liberace. I was really in the zone at that time and gave this strong, free, and direct handling. Rob is a true inspiration. I saw Trent in Stockley Gardens. I liked his look, and I got him to pose for my group. Sometimes I turn the studies into more finished paintings, but I feel this spontaneous capture is better for this subject. I chose this portrait, America Gin, to make use of my estate sale robe. Dramatic costume can be a challenge, but it often makes the painting. This painting, A Young Man on the Verge, is meant to capture his age at a significant life juncture, and I feel it succeeds. A quick study at a fellow artist's studio, simple and direct. Originally, this painting featured a Caucasian nude, but I substituted this nice Asian lady and saved the drum chair, which was inspiration for the painting. Again, this originally featured a nude model, but I substituted her with a traditional Asian subject, saving the rest of the scene. Our group took turns painting each other, and this is one of the portraits from those sessions. Fun, quick, spontaneous. The subject was the inspiration for this painting, titled Oranges and Oats. She was the manager of the men's department at Nordstrom, where I shopped at the time. Andre was a fixture in Stockley Gardens before the city pulled out the benches. His face and hands tell the story. Many people have shown interest in this painting, but I may just keep it. I'm in my studio gallery most days, and you're invited to call or stop by. See these and other originals. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ron. That was very interesting, and we're all looking forward to seeing your art in person and meeting your reception on Wednesday, September 7th at Central Library in Virginia Beach, 6 to 7:30. And again, it's free and open to the public. We hope you can all join us and certainly see a show which runs through the entire month. Thanks again.